Right, well, we've got a Sapphire X4000 here in immaculate condition from a dealer who has removed the illegal modification from this, but he's got some problems. So one of the problems is squelch, and one of our problems is we don't have a mic for it. So I'm obviously going to open it up because I think we'll open up both sides because it's going to want something sorting out. Normally the fascias on these and the similar Barracuda HP 940 are very worn, but considering this is 31 years old, that's immaculate. Pity somebody 80 channeled it and ruined it. Now we've come across squelch and modifications in inverted commas which stop the squelch from fully closing, and I just wonder if that's what's happened in this case. I'll just pop the speaker off. He's got something with one of the lamps as well. So what I need is that piece of paper with all the different microphones on it. So where have I hidden that, folks? Well, we're going to have to go and get a mic, and we're going to have to go. The mic list is here. So what have we got here? Pin out 3, which should correlate with the Barracuda, yes. So we've got the information, just need to get a microphone and a nice plug. I've had a box of radios come in today. I'd probably not get onto them till January. I've got 17 carol services to play the organ for, with a wedding. We've got the normal Sunday services, so and of course I'm doing my organ job and so on, so there isn't much time to do CB radios, but we'll still carry on with one a week. Now I used to do a lady's shopping, somebody from church, on every other Wednesday morning, and she's 94, and she's now got to a stage in her life when she's got to have professional carers come in. So that gives me Wednesday mornings every other week, which I'm going to try and dedicate to doing CB repairs. However, it's Monday evening as I start this video. Right, so on these mics, the audio, which is the one with the screen round it, is in the pin 1 position. We've got nothing in the pin 4 position. Then we've got transmit in the 2 position, receive in the 5 position, and the braid in the 3 position. I normally put sleeving on, but can I find the sleeving? No, and it's for me anyway. So, there's some in Mr. Chippy's bench, but he's in there. Right, we'll put that together. And have I got any crimping pliers? Of course I haven't. Oh, we'll find something to push this together. I don't like those plastic plugs at all, so we buy these in a quantity such as it makes them under £1. But those 15p type dim plugs are absolutely awful. These are gold plated ones for the professional audio industry. So I've made sure it says Sapphire on it, and hopefully I'll not sell it by mistake. So on these sets, it's the Uniden type of connector. Except on this bench, it's the crocodile clip type of connector. Who's the importer? Leonard Newman Limited, Redditch. Right. So we'll get it plugged into the test set. So we'll do a tune-up when I've got it working. I mean, he's going to have done a tune-up, but I'm obviously going to go through it as well, but that's not going to be the issue. So power it up. We know we can put full rail voltage, 13.8. We'll switch that on. Switch the radio on. It's not there. Where is it? It's there. So we want the squelch down. We'd better plug the instrument speaker in. Yeah. So can you hear that? Let's turn the volume up. The squelch never actually properly closes. So that's what it's here for. It's been messed with. So we'll just make sure we've got these where we want them. Yeah. I think he's got something about the transmit light. Transmit light doesn't come on. Is that it? And the feedback's because we've got the thing plugged in. So let's see what's happened. Because I've seen this before. I'm going to pause the video, see if I can see anything. So straight away, one of the problems we've got is we've got a blob of solder deliberately linking out the potentiometer of the squelch control. So I don't know whether the dealer who sent this in has done that, or whether it's something he's overlooked. But I'll switch the radio off and we'll remove that. Without melting the front of the radio. Right, so that's that done. We'll power it back up. And now I'm going to link that back to see what the difference is. As you can tell, we've now got squelch happening. So it just shifts it to a different place if that happens. Okay, I was interested. So let's see where the grey wire goes. Maybe sensible to see if I've got a scrap chassis down here. I'm sure we've got a Cybernet scrap chassis. Just to compare. We've got my beautiful scrap Banatone 5-star, which once went on a visit to Radio Cruncher. Shocking that a radio of this quality ended up as a scrapper, but I bought it as a scrap chassis. So I'm just looking if there's anything on here that isn't on. I've got resistor 60 here, and we haven't got resistor 60 there. Interesting. Now you'll all be aware you get different models with different components, so you know you don't fill all the holes, you know, because that's for a different model. So the best thing to do now is to look at the circuit diagram and see what resistor 60 does. Right, so I've got the Rotel 220 circuit diagram here. I thought we'll look at a lower model and just see whether resistor 60 is included, and it is. So resistor 60 is there. So it's going from the input side, the preamp side of the audio amplifier to the squelch, so it's important, and it's going to the collector. So we will put 10k resistor in. I say we buy these in an expensive way, they work about 45 pence each. Yeah, I know we can buy them for 0.1 pence, but I use that comp card system, so they're all in files. Right, so switch off the radio, and this was a white arrow, this was a white herring, a red herring, sorry, here. They should be linked together. When you look at the circuit diagram, we'll put that back when I've done the resistor. When you look at the circuit diagram, resistor VR3, the squelch control, is used as a rheostat and not a potentiometer. So it is linked at one end. So that was totally a red herring. So we will insert resistor 60. And you can't... I mean, what's that red wire doing there? That looks like another red herring. I'll leave it in at that end, and then if we've got to put it back, well, we can. I'm going to chop the very end bit of that off just so it doesn't short. I'm going to have to take this set off the bench. It's in the way of my power lead. Perfect. Wow. Right, so once again we'll turn it off and we'll put that across to there once again as it was. I do find that bizarre, but that's how it is. Good. So that's the first thing overcome. I think the second thing was no TX light. So put the set back on. Okay, which one of these isn't in properly? Right, so we now have the squelch as it should be. So looking at the receive light, we've got no transmit light. So see what's happened there, or whether it's got connected to a wrong position. Something else I can now do is remove this bit of wire. be honest, that lead could do with just a little clipping there. Where's that go? No idea. Right. So on this, does this have transmit and receive lights? Oh, did it once. I can't remember whether these do or they don't. I think they did, don't they? I think they did. It's so long gone, anything that was on this set, that it wouldn't be obvious. So I will have to have a look at the Rotel 240 circuit and see how it's done on there. So I will go to my computer and blow that up on the screen. But the hard one's done. Well, hopefully it's the hard one. So looking at the circuit diagram, I had to find pin 30 and pin 13. So I've really blown it up on my computer screen. And I've done some print screen things. So there we've got 30. And there we've got 13. If I can just find it again, there it is. So the first thing I need to do is to make sure that it's actually connected to the right place. So make sure the power's off, which it is. So point 13. So transistor 17, which is there, is there. So the pin next to it should be 13, and that's got a brown wire on it which goes where? It goes to the mic. So one wire of RTX light should go there. And you know what? It looks like it does. It looks quite correctly that it goes there. So see if we can find a transistor. Make sure they're not touching, because so I'm going to get the meter and we'll just put it on continuity. So if I put one prod on pin 13, and the other where he's got the wire connected. Well, that looks correct. So now we'll look at the other end of where the bulb's connected. It should be point 30 down here. So I can see point 40, or is it 46? Yeah, there's point 30. It doesn't have a pin in it. We've got a pin in 52, but we haven't got a pin in 30. So presumably it just goes to the other side. Well, to be honest, it looks right. I'm going to, so I can see where we are, we're just going to solder suck this point here, making sure the set's off once again. I think that hole I've just created is point 30. Let's see if we can get that precision tool. I can't. I'll just put this old capacitor up there, see whether that's coming out of hole 30. No, that's hole 52. So hole 30 is the one next to it, and that's exactly where he's got the wire. So, is it just simply that the bulb's burnt out? If I disconnect one end, I'm just going to solder suck that to make sure we're exactly where we should be. Just poke that bit of wire up there. Yeah, that's point 30, alright. Let's check continuity. Which shows 11 ohms. Well, so right, we'll now check continuity with the two wires. 11 ohms. Right, we'll do the radical thing. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put 12 volts up it, not 13.8. I'll just change to 12 volts. So disconnect the radio. And it actually lights up. I'll try and show you that. And no wonder he's confused. So how's it done? How does it work? Right, you have a resistor which is 270 ohms. Now, of course, it's possible that this isn't the original lamp, and that this draws a different current to what the original lamp drew. So we've got to look for a resistor 103 and check it works, and check whether it needs changing for something different. 103 is there. So how many ohms did I say? 270 ohms. So it's 270 ohms. Right, well, the thing to do is we'll connect this back up. Neaten that up later. So I'm going to put the radio back on. Go to 13.8 volts. Switch on. I'm going to disconnect the extension speaker because it's going into feedback every time we key it. And you can actually just see it glows eventually. So we need a different resistor value. What I'm going to do, we'll take that resistor out. I'm turning the wrong knob, that goes without saying, doesn't it, with a set with a bizarre knob layout like this. So we'll put that to one side. What I'm going to do, we'll tape that inside the set so that it can be restored if the correct original bulb ever happened. It's just a good thing to do. I'm going to do some guesswork. We'll put I could do the math. I don't know how many milliamps he's got in. If it was 40 milliamps, I don't know what voltage it's fed with, do I? If it was 40 milliamps, for example, and we needed to lose 3 volts, I'll tell you what, I'll just get 100 ohm as a starting point. So let's pop that out of here. These are the, goes without saying, these are obviously the higher power 2 watt ones. So I'm not going to solder that in. What we'll just do is I'll pop it on. Good grief, it's doing 5 watts. And just for now, I'll just hold it across. So we've got the receive, we've got the transmit. Receive, transmit, that's the right brightness. Well, Mr. 21, you guessed that right. Right, I'll just cut the power again. So it's best not to put this right against the. And these are carpet. These are ceramic. So you need to thread that in, and not put it against the board. Good. Time to put the bottom on it. Then I can tune it without any capacitive effect. Put the meter away. I've bought a Maxcom 4E off eBay. It was a buy it now or make offer, so I offered him £1 less. So that's going to be a laugh, isn't it? Right, so we'll now go through, put the power back on, we'll go up through the tune-up. So just to show, transmit, and it lights up just as it should do. So I think we start on channel 40 for the tune-up, if I remember rightly. Make sure the RF gain and the mic gain is in the correct position. Worry about putting the extension speaker back in a bit. I've put the meter away. I'll just get the meter back out. Borrow Mr. Chippy's crocodile clip lead and put that on the negative. And it's Mike's retype of the Rotel 240 instructions that I use nearly every time. So we'll just check that at the test point we've got 4 volts on receive. We're going to transmit, should have 4 volts. I will just pop that one down a fraction. It's all about not having the channels disappearing in different temperatures, a bit like our Midland 76, 78 plus multi, which only likes particular temperatures. Right, channel 1. Hang on, that's the same. Are we on channel 9 or something? Ah, it's not selecting the channels right. Switch picture in picture on. I've propped the camera up on something, and we'll show the frequency counter. If I've got that in the right position, I want it there. So channel 40, 2799125, that should be. Channel 20, 2779125. Channel 1 is giving us channel 40. What about channel 2? Everything under 10 I think is giving us channel 40. Let's have a look. 69125, that's right. Channel yeah, they're all giving us the same channel, and then it goes to channel 40. Notice how I put the lid back on. Did you notice how I put the lid back on? So there is time to take the lid back off because there is a short circuit, by the looks of it, on the channel selector, or it's knackered, one or the other. I didn't expect that. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Of course, if I looked at his notes, it probably says all this, but on the other hand, it might not. We'll find out, won't we? I'll look at his notes. The only fear I've got is I just hope it hasn't blown a data line on the phase lock loop chip, with it having had an 80 channel modification. That's always my fear, that kind of cost. I'm going to pause the video, we'll look for a dry joint.